Islam, Israel. Yahweh Shem Shah brought a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal thumb by Shem Shah to the sisters. Prison Officer Karan Yala, ISUBK. Welcome to another installment of Nothing New Under the Sun, episode 14, The Spirit of Christianity, part 3. You understand? So, of course, this is part 3 of The Spirit of Christianity. So we're going to get right into it. You understand? Of course, we all know that the spirit of being a Christian, especially if you're a brother in the ISBK, you understand that the spirit of being a Christian is a greedy spirit. You understand? It's a spirit that's selfish. You understand? It's a lustful spirit. Christianity in general is evil as hell. You understand? And blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who embody the spirit of being a Christian hates blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You understand? Let's go to the scriptures. Let's read what Christ said about these Christians of his time. You understand? Or the people that embody the spirit of being a Christian or being so-called religious. You understand? In the times of Christ. Okay, it's the book of Salakia. Let's see. We there. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, and we're going to start at the 25th verse. And these scriptures are written in red. You understand? Right. These scriptures are written in red. You understand? Scriptures are written in red, so this is Christ speaking. You understand? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 25. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. The Lord said, the scribes and the Pharisees, which is your so-called religious leaders of the times that he was walking on planet Earth, these are the same spirits that's on the religious leaders as far as being in a Christian church and any other religion that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans indulge in. The Lord said, Christ said, you will be destroyed. You understand? Woe means destruction. You understand? Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. You understand? He called these brothers and sisters hypocrites. You understand? And a hypocrite is a person will basically bring you up on charges about something evil that you got going on. You understand? But won't necessarily change the way that they moving or change up the evil things that they have going on within their own life. They'll sit back and call you a evil, devious person or try to bring you up on charges about how evil you being is something wrong that you doing. Meanwhile, they already embody the spirit of a person that's evil, they damn self. You understand? They'll sit up here and tell you that, oh, you need to change the way you living. You understand? Meanwhile, they living just as filthy as you, if not even more filthy. You understand? For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. You understand? Christ saying, man, look, y'all making it look like y'all are people that are godly people or people that's following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. And you trying to make yourself look like a holy person. But deep down inside, you wicked as hell when you're an evil, nasty human being. You understand? Verse 26, thou blind Pharisee. You understand? He said, you blind Pharisee. Christ going bad on these religion leaders right now. You understand? Christ wasn't no soft dude, how they try to portray him as in a Christian church. You understand? Christ is going in. Matter of fact, Christ is in the temple going in on the Sadducees and Pharisees. You understand? The scribes and the Pharisees. You understand? So like he said, thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Meaning, clean up your act. You understand? Look at what you're doing wrong. And maybe the people that follow you, you understand, they will begin to see what's going on, you understand, and they will act accordingly because y'all the religious leaders and y'all supposed to be leading by example. He's saying, look, man, clean up your own backyard. You understand? Don't be sitting up here trying to make it seem like you holy, or you a man of God, or you keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Meanwhile, you don't. You understand? And the reason why blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are destroyed in America is because our religious leaders, they don't give a damn about us enough to change them damn selves to lead by example so we can change as a nation. You understand? Verse 27. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. He's saying it again. You understand? Destruction. Like y'all gonna be destroyed. You understand? Hypocrites. Call them hypocrites again. For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Look, Christ said these scribes, these Pharisees, your so-called leaders, your so-called religious leaders, you understand? He likened them unto a beautiful white tombstone. You understand? Like when you go to a graveyard, you might see a beautiful tombstone of a brother that passed or a sister that passed, and they put a nice headstone to make it look nice and neat, keep the grass cutting all of that. But underneath all of that beautifulness, it lies a box with a dead man's bones and all manner of uncleanness. You understand? There's gonna be rats and worms and all type of stuff in this box eating away at the flesh of this dead person. He likened your scribes, your Sadducees, your Pharisees, your religious leaders, the same ones that's back on planet Earth today. This is what Christ likened them unto. You understand? Basically, like y'all look good on the outside, but in the inside, you filthy, nasty, and wicked. You understand? Salakia. Verse 18. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. You understand? Your Christian pastor looks like he's a man of God. Your Christian pastor portrays that he is a man of God. Your religious leader looks like he's a man of God. Elijah Muhammad looked like he was a man of God. You understand? Out in Oakland, where I'm from, Yusuf Bey looked like he was a man of God, and he actually cared about his community. But meanwhile, he was sleeping with underage women and impregnating sisters and throwing them away. This is why he got the so many kids, to the tune like 20 something kids. You feel me? That's just in Oakland alone, because he dealt with all of these women fulfilling his lust, just like your Christian pastor does. You understand? Just like the religious leaders of Christ in his day. You understand? They all was about being wicked, but appearing that they are a men of God. You understand? Appearing to look like this dude has to be of the Lord because he talks a good game. You understand? He got the nice sharp clothes on. You understand? He's always in church giving you some new sermon in the Bible and how the Lord will bless you. You know what I'm saying? If you come and pay your tithes, and this man has to be a man of God, and God has to be with him because he keeps giving you a prosperity doctrine. You understand? So if the Lord is with any man, it has to be with this man, because this man looks prosperous on what he's doing. This man is always sitting up here talking about God and how the Lord loves everybody and how he loves everybody because he has the spirit of the Lord on him. Well, that same dude that you look at in that Christian church or that Muslim mosque, you understand? He is more filthy and wicked than your average drug dealer that lives in your neighborhood. You understand? Salaki, I'm going to read that again. It says, even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Christ said, look, y'all look like y'all are men of God. You look like you righteous, but deep down inside of you, you filled with hypocrisy. You understand? You sit up here telling people how much wrong they doing. You understand? When you living just as bad as them, on top of that, you probably even living worse than them. And you so full of iniquity. You understand? You so full of sin. This is what Christ is saying to these Sadducees and these Pharisees and these scribes. You understand? Christ, it was not a sucker. He was an austere man, and he was going bad on them in the temple. You understand? So, Lakia, uh, verse 29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets. Look, he calling them, he's saying destruction to them again. What, this about 3 times? He calling them hypocrites again. You understand? Right? It says, uh, uh, Matthew 23 and 29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres, the sepulchres of the righteous. You understand? He's saying, woe unto you, destruction unto you, because you garnish the tombs, you garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. You understand? Uh, uh, and the tombs of the prophets. You understand? Like y'all are the ones that killed the prophets. You understand? You know what I'm saying? You looking like y'all are garnishing their tombs, meaning y'all beautifying their tombs and all that type of stuff. But y'all the reason why these prophets lay in the grave. You understand? Reading on. Verse 30, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Man, look, he's saying destruction to you. Y'all sitting up there decorating the prophets' tombs. You understand? And great real men of God tombs, and sitting up there looking like y'all are just holy and righteous brothers that actually care about your nation. You understand? And furthermore, y'all say, look, man, if we was in the days of our forefathers, we would have never partook in the blood of these prophets, of these great men. You understand? We would have never partaken in us condemning these prophets and basically serving them up on a silver platter to these other nations. You understand? To get these brothers killed. This is what you Christians do. You understand? You Christians sit up here and say, man, if we lived in the days of Isaiah, or we lived in the days of Daniel, or we lived in the days of all these great prophets of the days of old, we would have never partooken in slaughtering these brothers, or partooken in being against these brothers. You understand? And basically helping condemn these brothers to their death. You understand? Christ saying destruction unto you, because y'all are the people that literally sit up here and decorate these brothers' graves like y'all would have never took part in what happened to them in the days of old. When today you say the law is done away with, y'all persecute the ISUBK, y'all persecute Commander General Yohana, all the generals, all the captains, all the officers, all the sisters, all the troopers. Y'all persecute the men in the ISUBK. Y'all tell us when we come to y'all Juneteenth events, y'all is too radical. You understand? Can y'all please not be militant? You understand? Y'all racist. Y'all sitting up here telling uh 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 everybody that we should hate the white man. Y'all preaching hate. Y'all are the same people that condemn these prophets in the days of old. You understand? Reading on. Verse 31. Wherefore ye be witness unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Y'all know y'all the children of them that killed the prophets. You understand? Y'all know y'all are the people that like when Christ was hung on that cross. You understand? You had the children of Israel telling these damn Edomites, we have no king but Caesar. Kill him. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans beat down Christ on the way to his death physically, spit on him, put a crown of thorns on his head. You understand? Mocked him, did all type of evilness to our King. You understand that all type of evilness to our Christ. You understand? The one that was supposed to come save us up out of hell. You understand? And this is exactly what these religious leaders do today. They sit up here and tell you that the law is done away with and Jesus loves everybody. You doing the same thing. You beating down and spitting on Christ every day with this prosperity doctrine and how Jesus loves everybody and God is all love and he is not hate. You understand? That's a goddamn lie. You understand? I'm gonna read that again. Salaki, going back up to verse 30, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. You understand? They saying if your Christian pastor, your Muslim imam, your Muslim imam, and all the rest of these religious leaders of our people, y'all sit up here and say, man, look, if we lived back in the days with our fathers, we would have been never been partakers of the blood of these prophets. Y'all know that y'all are the descendants of these people that killed these prophets. This is what Christ says in verse 31. Verse 31, wherefore ye be witness unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. And if you know anything about reincarnation in these scriptures, you are who your father was back in the days of old. The scriptures say the soul of a prophet is subject unto a prophet. You understand? Meaning, a brother that's a prophet in the ISUBK today, he was a prophet in the days of old. Now, we don't know which one, and we don't get into specifics of all of that. We're not sitting here telling about, oh, I'm King David, or I was Solomon, and I was. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. But you understand the scriptures say, you subject unto a prophet if you was already a prophet in the days of old. And it's no different with the people that helped slaughter these great prophets in the Old Testament. These same people that live today, these Sadducees and these Pharisees of today, you understand, your Christians, Christian pastors, any religious group that you can think of that's a Black, Latino, or Native American, and they come up against the ISUBK, y'all are the exact same people that sat up there and watched Christ get killed, you understand, innocently, and said, we have no king but Caesar. Yeah, that's your Christian pastor today. That's T.D. Jakes. That's Creflo Dollar. You understand? That's Bishop Eddie Long. Y'all the same people that destroyed Christ in the days of old. You understand? Salakia. Fill ye up the measure of your fathers. Christ saying, fill ye up the measure of your fathers, meaning you're going to drink out of the same cup that your fathers is going to drink out of. You understand? You're going to get exactly what your fathers is going to get because you are your father and you do exactly what your father is doing, has done in the past. Excuse me. You understand? Verse 33, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Man, Christ is in the temple blazing on them. Christ literally is cussing these people out in the temple. So you know what it is? Like a serpent, a viper. Those are terms that mean you a snake. You a slithery, slimy bastard that can't nobody trust. This is what Christ is telling these scribes and these Pharisees. And this is what we do in the ISUBK Abundant Commander General Yana. We blaze on your Christian pastor. You know why? Because your Christian pastor is buying alligator shoes, you understand, $1,000 suits, while your mama can't pay her rent and our people keep dying from high blood pressure and black on black violence and allowing other people to sleep with other men's wives, and you got Black, Latino, and Native American women destroying the community because your Christian pastor keep telling you, woman, thou art loose. Woman, you don't have to listen to the tutelage of a man. Kick him out of your house if he don't want to do right, or if he don't want to listen to your rules. It's okay for a woman to be a preacher. You understand? Like, all of this nonsense that they tell you in church is the reason why we're being destroyed. And this is exactly why Christ blazed on these scribes and these Pharisees, because they told you basically the same BS. You understand? They didn't tell you, you understand, the proper way to keep the law and the spirit of the law. Nah, what they did was they looked at like they was upstanding black people. You understand? They looked at like they was holy men of God. Meanwhile, they was evil as hell and they was serving a goddamn oppressor. You understand? Christ lived in the times where the Romans ruled Jerusalem and Judea as a whole. Christ was a black man going up against the establishment and blazing on pastors and preachers, you understand, that was shucking and jiving for their white slave masters. You understand? Christ lived in a place no different than what we live in today. You understand? Christ lived in a place that you had to pay taxes to these damn Edomites. Well, we got to pay taxes to these Edomites. Christ lived in a place where you had some big head Negroes, you understand, claiming to be men of God. Meanwhile, they serve you up on a silver platter for you to be destroyed and devoured by your oppressor, by your goddamn enemy. You understand? Christ went out on the streets and told blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that they had to change the way that they live and come out of the ideology of ancient Rome in that time. And this is what we doing here in the ISBK. We go out on the street corners Saturday, every Saturday. You understand? We go to camp and we blaze on this establishment and we cry aloud and we spare not. You understand? And we show our people their transgressions with these classes. You understand? We sitting up here teaching blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans how you're supposed to live according to this Bible. You understand? And this is the same thing that Christ did. This is why the men in the ISBK, Abundant Commander General Yana, is the only authorized priest that was ordained by the Lord, because we are the only ones that truly follow Christ. You understand? But Salakia for being long-winded. You understand? Salakia. I'm going to read verse 33 again. Verse 33, the book of Matthew, chapter 23, and verse 33. Ye serpents, ye generations of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? You understand? The Lord is going to put blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in hell because we don't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments that he set for us to follow. You understand? He like, man, look, y'all serpents and generations of vipers, how can y'all escape the damnation of hell? Meaning, you look, hell is coming to y'all. You understand? You're not gonna be able we're not gonna be able to escape being in the ghettos. We're not gonna escape being on food stamps and welfare. We're not gonna be able to escape our women killing 350,000 of our babies every year. You're not gonna be able to escape black on black crime. Brothers from two different neighborhoods that don't even know each other, but he know you from the other side, and y'all see each other at the liquor store and get into a fight and somebody get murdered. That's hell. Christ is not talking about some devil with a pitchfork up on the earth. You understand? Raping you for eternity. Nah, that's not what he's talking about. You understand? Christ is talking about hell on earth. You understand? But I'm gonna drop that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the book of John. The book of John, chapter 8. You understand? Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. The water for y'all keeping the channel going, you understand, and supporting this truth. And make sure y'all really share this. You understand? Like it's important that brothers and sisters actually show their family this in the world. You understand? These classes. You're gonna see young niggas that's from the same background as you with gold teeth and gold chains on that actually serve Christ, that actually serve the Lord, and we feel damn good about it. You understand? Like, we not ashamed of what we do. You understand? Like, all the men in the ISBK up under Commander General Yana, when we got family members in the world that's looking at us like, man, you strange, you different, you weird. You understand? We love doing what we do. Ain't nobody forced us to come into the truth and serve the Lord. You understand? Nobody forced none of these men to be priests and prophets of God. The Lord chose us to do his work, and we're going to do exactly what the hell he told us to do. You understand? Just like we're going to follow orders from Commander General Yana, a general, a captain, an officer, or anybody, you understand, that gives us an order, because we are the men that the Lord chose to eventually rule planet Earth one day. Like the scriptures say, make your election sure. You understand? And this is what we do in the ISBK. We put in all of this work, you understand, because we don't want to be in hell. We don't want to be up under the thumb of our oppressor. You understand? I don't want to be in the projects in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? I want to be a part of that ruling class. You understand? I want to be a man that actually helped my people get out of slavery. You understand? But Salakia for being long-winded on that. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 8. We're going to start at verse 1. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of John, chapter 8, and verse 1. Yahushua went into the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple. And all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto her, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. You understand? Like Christ is at the temple. You understand? He teaching, and these scribes and Pharisees, they brought a sister that was being accused of committing adultery. You understand? They brought her to Christ. You understand? Verse 5. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned, but what sayest thou? You understand? So they brought the sister into the temple and was like, look, man, she committed adultery. In the Old Testament, Moses said we should stone this sister. But what do you say, Master? What do you say, Lord? You understand? Salakia. Verse 6. This they say, tempting him that they might have to accuse him. But Yahushua stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. Man, look, Christ is the ultimate teacher, the ultimate priest. You understand? The ultimate lawyer as far as the law is saying. You understand? Christ understood that they was basically trying to get him to disobey or disrespect the law just so they can have something to bring him up on charges about so he can be killed. You understand? You know what Christ did? Christ was so seasoned, he already knew the trickery that they had up their sleeve. So Christ just was writing down on the ground like he ain't even hear him. Like he ignored them. Like man, these niggas keep doing this. Like, come on, man. Like again, right? So like here. Verse 7. So when they continue asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto him, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. You understand? So when they kept asking him, they kept pressing Christ, he got up like, all right, look, if ain't none of y'all sinners, you understand, then y'all throw the first rock at her. Cast the first stone at her if ain't none of y'all sinned. You understand? And Christ understood that he cut these Sadducees and Pharisees because the spirit of the law is brotherhood. The spirit of the law is not being a hypocrite. If I'm a drug dealer, right, I can't throw a stone at you for being a prostitute because sin is sin. You understand? Like if I murdered somebody unjustly, right, but they bring a sister to me to be like, okay, and I'm not saying Christ was a sinner. What I'm saying is these Sadducees and Pharisees were sinners. You understand? Like, you can't execute the law if you are sinning against the law. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't murder somebody unjustly, and then if they bring, and then I try to come bring somebody up on charges about them being an adulterer or adulteress. You understand? That's wicked as hell. Because if this person has to be dealt with for their sin, then I ought to be killed too. You understand? And this is what Christ came back and died for the children of Israel for. You understand? He died to give us a grace period. You understand? A grace period means a time to get your stuff together. Like if you got a grace period on paying your rent, you don't just sit back and never pay your rent. This is what these Christian pastors is all. Oh, we're up under grace. We're not under the law when they don't understand what being under the law means in that context of that scripture. You understand? Being under the law means we not under the law of executing judgment on somebody that sins. And we know this here because of what Christ said. Christ said again, verse 7. So when they continue asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone. Christ already knew all you niggas are sinners. These are the scribes and the Pharisees. These are the ones that run the temple. They bring the sister to him that's being accused of committing adultery. You understand? And they keep pressing Christ about what should they do just so they can make him look like he's going against the law. So what he do is he cut him. Okay, yeah, she committed adultery. Yep, that is what the law say. Okay, any one of y'all that ain't sinned, throw the first rock at her. You understand? Kick it off if you're not a sinner. Because if you are a sinner, you should be dealt with how you trying to have this sister be dealt with. You understand? Reading on. Verse 8. And he stooped down again and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one. Man, would you look at that? Christ said, look, He who was without sin, y'all cast the first stone. Throw the rock at her first. Then he continued to keep writing. You understand? Ignoring them. So, and reading again said, and they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one. The ones that heard this, they being convicted by their own conscience, meaning they was guilty. They understood, like, ooh, yeah, I probably did just, I for sure just sinned. I did this, I did all type of stuff. Let me get up out of here. Meaning, like they said, they went out one by one. They got up out of there. They left the temple one by one. You understand? Beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. You understand? So when Christ looked up, everybody gone. It's just him and the sister. You understand? Verse 10. When Yahushua had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Have no man condemned thee? So Christ looked up, he like, hey, sis, like, where the brothers that just brought you in here to try to pronounce judgment on you? You understand? Ain't nobody around. You understand? No, nobody was able to condemn you. You understand? Verse 11. She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Christ said, Look, I ain't finna condemn you either. Go ahead, get up out of here, but don't sin anymore. This is repentance. You understand? You acknowledging that you did something wrong. You understand? And you never doing it again. That's repentance. You understand? That's what Christ died for the children of Israel, to get repentance of sins. You understand? Christ didn't die for you to keep sinning, which your Christian pastor will keep telling you, oh, we not up under the law. So you mean to tell me our king died for you to keep eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, sleeping with other niggas' women, and smoking weed and being a drug dealer and a liar? Nah, man, that don't make sense to me. You understand? And Christ said it his damn self. Nah, that's not how it goes. He said, sister, I'm not going to condemn you either. Go ahead and get up out of here, but don't sin no more. You understand? Sin is the transgression of the law. You understand? Going against the laws of the Old Testament and the Torah, that's what sin is. You understand? Shalaki. Now drop that. We'll go to the Apocrypha. First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. You understand? Let's get some more of this spirit of Christianity. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a whole lot of scriptures popping up in my head. I might have to do a part 4 to this one. You okay? They sleep? All right. Go ahead, come on down and sit down. You got a scarf? Cover your head with that towel. I mean, with that cover you got. Huh? The white, I appreciate it. You say you cold? There ain't another cover in here? We'll try and see if you can do it. Okay, the book of first. You can fit it? Okay, most time Christ, that's the wild. Book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. Like it. It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days when I went out there, went there out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, Let us make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. This is the spirit of Christianity. The spirit of Christianity is your religious leader persuading you to make a covenant with these goddamn heathens, when the Lord said in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, that we are separate from these damn heathens. You understand? The spirit of Christianity, like, you get so many blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans at these upscale restaurants taking pictures of shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster on a plate. You understand? And broadcasting it to the world and putting it on so many social media sites, like they doing it big, or you know what I'm saying, they living a good life, is because they want to be like your oppressor. You understand? They want to be like your enemy. You understand? They're trying to persuade you, look, we need to go make a covenant with these heathens, you understand? Because since we departed from them, we've had so much sorrow. Meaning like we ain't been living a good life. You understand? Trying to be one people with our own nation. Maybe we need to marry unto these people again, you understand? So we can indulge in the festivities and the activities that these other heathens do. This is a lustful spirit on these damn brothers in the book of Maccabees, the first chapter. You know what I'm saying? So like in first Maccabees, the first chapter. You understand? Reading on. Uh like it, verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, right? Now they built this place of exercise in Jerusalem, custom to according to the customs of the heathen. This place of exercise that they built is basically a gymnasium. You understand? When you look into the history of the Olympics, you understand, in gymnasiums and all of that type of stuff, this is Greek culture. You understand? These brothers and sisters basically made a gym to where they could practice the sports that the Greeks practice. You understand? And walk around naked. You understand? Salakia. I'm gonna get y'all the term next week. You understand? On gymnasium. I have my laptop right now, but the place of exercise, the gymnasium, means basically for you to be able to walk around naked. You understand? Which is a totally against our customs. You understand? Which is a Greek custom and their culture. You understand? This is why when you look at sports, you understand, it's not legal for you to be walking around naked in the world today. You understand? So they put you in a costume or a uniform that's as naked as you can possibly be. Like, look at boxers. They are literally in the ring fighting in draws. You understand? When you look at the Olympics, you understand, the Olympic Games, track, the shot put, throwing the javelin, all of that type of stuff. Those people are borderline naked, especially gymnastics. You understand? When doing gymnastics, as far as like doing flips and back flips and all of this type of stuff, figure skating as well, all of this type of stuff. You understand? Like, they essentially are dressing you up in costumes, revealing as much as they possibly can, while you got old white man sitting up there lusting after your daughter after she done did like 20,000 backflips in a goddamn arena with millions of people watching her. You understand? Synchronized swimming, swimming, all type of stuff. You understand? All of this stuff comes from the Greek culture. You understand? And the Greek Olympic Games. You understand? But Salakia, for being long-winded. Verse 15, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. You understand? Like, these brothers back in those days, they had the same spirit of Christianity today. You understand? They wanted to make a league with these goddamn heathens. You understand? On top of that, they envied their oppressors. You understand? They wanted to make an agreement to go be with the heathen so they can partake in the stuff that the heathen partake in. So much so forth to where they went to extreme measures to actually build a building where they can exercise living like a heathen. You understand? And verse 15 again, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. You understand? Like, we made ourselves uncircumcised physically, you understand, and mentally. We forsook the holy covenant. Like, when your Christian pastor tells you that God loves everybody and Jesus died for everybody on planet Earth sin, you understand? That we are forsaking the holy covenant that we had with the Lord for us to be a separate people. You understand? We forsaken the holy and separate agreement that the Lord had with the children of Israel for us to go sleep with white women, for us to go eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and be accepted by your goddamn oppressor, or for you to grow dreadlocks, you understand, and smoke weed and basically pledge your allegiance to an East Indian goddess. You understand? We forsook our holy covenant to be like these damn heathens and participate in the dirty, filthy wickedness of these heathens and the ways of that they live their lifestyles. You understand? But Salakia. But drop that. Let's go to First Maccabees chapter 2. First Maccabees chapter 2. Salakia, that's what I wanted. This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 2. I'm sorry, verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joarib from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Joanan called Cadus, Simon called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Salakia. Oh, I want that Salakia. I'm gonna get to that in a second, Salakia. I skipped the whole important piece of First Maccabees, the first chapter. You understand, Salakia? So I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna go to First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. You understand? Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. You understand? This is where America gets the idea of this is the melting pot, and everybody is supposed to come together and be on one accord and be in the same nation with each other. You understand? King Antiochus, which was a Greek king that comes from Alexander the Greek, basically subduing the planet Earth and putting the Greeks as the first Caucasian nation to actually run planet Earth. You understand? King Antiochus was a Greek that came from his top generals. You understand? He came from his top generals that Alexander the Greek part of his kingdom to. You understand? King Antiochus was descendant of one of those generals. You understand? And what he did was he mandated that all people should become one people. You understand? In his kingdom. You understand? Like basically, we all that one nation under God, this new world order that they speak of. Well, they've been doing this in the times of the Greeks. You understand? And this is before Jesus Christ. You understand? The book of Maccabees, this is what? About 300 years before Jesus Christ lived. You understand? Give or take. You understand, around that time? But these Greeks, they started this, oh, we should all become one people. You understand? And as I just read in First Maccabees, the first chapter, in verse 11, you understand? It said wicked men came out of Israel. Like these was leaders in Israel that actually persuaded blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans at that time to actually come and build a league and an alliance and become one people with these goddamn heathens. You understand? So without your religious leaders actually, without your religious leaders being on board, you understand? Without our top people being on board with coming together with the oppressor, your oppressor could not have any power over your nation unless your leaders are serving you up on a silver platter. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened in crisis time. That's exactly what happened in the book of Maccabees. And that's exactly what's happening today. You understand? Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's always been like this. You understand? But Salakia, verse 42. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. King Antiochus said everybody should come leave their laws and become one nation with the Greeks, and everybody should just be one melting pot and all be known as one people. You understand? This comes from the Greeks. You're like the scriptures say, like your oppressor, the so-called Caucasian man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? He's the one that deceived the earth that everybody should come together with each other and live in perfect harmony, and we all should be one people. You understand? This is why the ISUPK Abundant Commander General Yana, we say the Caucasian man, woman, and child is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because all throughout these scriptures, You understand? It literally tells you that these people have been deceiving planet Earth for thousands of years. You understand? Even in the New Testament, it tells you like the devil is seeking to devour the child that's in labor. You understand? That child that's in labor to be born. You understand? That's Christ. You understand? The devil seeks to devour Christ. And who wanted to devour Christ when Christ was living? King Herod, which he was an Edomite. You understand? A descendant of these Greeks. You understand? He was a Roman. You understand? These Romans and these Greeks, when you go back to their heritage and their history, you can go all the way up the line, and their forefather is Esau. That same dude that the Lord said he hated in the New Testament and in the Old Testament. You understand? But Salaki, verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profane the Sabbath. You understand? Like many Israelites, many of our people actually basically consented to this new religion. You understand? I'm gonna read that again. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. You understand? We were sacrificing unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. You understand how you profane the Sabbath? The Lord said you should keep the Sabbath holy. You understand? The Sabbath day is a day of rest for people who have to work for another man or who has an employer, you understand, that's making money off of them. This is what the Sabbath day is about. The Sabbath day is about rest for your employers. Because what did the Lord do? The Lord didn't build the earth with his bare hands by himself. No, he had the Spirit of Christ and the angels to build it for him because he gave them an order. The Lord is a man of war. He sends out orders to get stuff done. You understand? And then when Christ's Spirit and the angels built the foundations of the world, you understand? In those 6 days, on the seventh day, he rests. And who else rested? Christ's Spirit and those angels. This is what the spirit of the Sabbath is about. You understand? When it say they polluted the Sabbath, meaning somebody that had a business, you understand, that was supposed to let their employees rest on the Sabbath. He's like, nah, you niggas y'all gotta go to work on Saturday too. You understand? That's exactly what the hell happened. You understand? So like here, verse 44. And the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. You understand? Like they sent letters to Jerusalem that we should follow these laws of this strange land. You understand? Basically making it a law for us to adhere to this new religion that this king is doctoring up and pushing out to the world because the Greeks got stuff on smash at this time. You understand? Verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days. You understand? Like this is the spirit of Christianity. Christianity tells you that the law is done away with. We don't celebrate Passover, but we celebrate Christmas. We ain't celebrating Passover. We celebrate Easter. Christmas is Christ's birthday. You understand? Like it's nonsense how these Christian pastors sit up here and profane the laws of God. You understand? Just to stay in bed with their slave master to make merchandise and money off of the suffering and the destruction of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But this ain't new. It happened in the time of the Greeks. It happened when the prophets roamed on earth during the times of the Old Testament. It happened in Christ's days, and it's happening today. You understand? Salakia. What was that? Verse 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Your church is polluted. They sitting up there having sex with brothers' wives. You understand? They allowing homosexuals to be the head of the choirs in in these churches. You understand? Like they are allowing women to be preachers and pastors in the church. They polluting the holy people. How they polluting the holy people today? They're telling you that the law is done away with. So you're going to eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. You're going to kill your brother. You're going to abort your baby, and you're going to do whatever the hell you want to do. You understand? You're going to do everything that you want to do because there's no law about anything that you can't do. Because your Christian pastor has polluted God's dear chosen people by telling you that the law is done away with. We ain't no brotherhood in the Christian church. The deacon gonna try to sleep with your woman. You understand? I was just talking to one of the one of the Adawanian the other day, and he was telling me about when he was younger and how the Christian church that his grandmother used to take him to. You understand? His grandfather would never go to that church. He'd just be sitting at home doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. He ain't going to that church. You understand? But his grandmother would go into the church and bring him and his brothers to the church. And while they was at church, they knew this sister was full on married, but they was still flirt and you understand, say a little slick stuff to his grandmother, you understand, to try to sleep with her, knowing goddamn well she got a husband. Because your Christian pastor, you understand, has polluted the holy people. You understand? Salakia. Verse 27. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. That's exactly what's going on in the Christian church. You understand? Your Christian churches that grove. You understand? They got so many idols in the Christian church, it's ridiculous. You got niggas bowing down on hands and knees to a picture of white Jesus and a wooden cross, and they having fish fries, frying up catfish. You understand? Shrimp. You understand? They giving barbecues and picnics at the church, and they literally giving you pork. It's the same thing that happened in the book of Maccabees is what's going on today. The same exact thing. You understand? Salaki. Verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. You understand? Like your Christian church is not sitting up here and telling you have to circumcise your son on the 8th day. On top of that, they're not teaching their children the law to circumcise their hearts and their minds. You understand? Your Christian church is not telling you that the law of the Old Testament written by Moses is still in effect today. You understand? He's not telling you that. It says, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Like the Christian church is making your soul abominable with that woman thou art loose doctrine. You understand? Or telling you that Paul made every animal clean that was unclean back in the old days, so now you can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? By telling you that it's okay for you to be a homosexual in the church and you to all live an alternative lifestyle, and it's cool for a sister to get up there and teach the laws of the Bible. Like this is crazy and nonsense, but this is what's going on in your Christian church. You understand? Salaki. Yeah, we definitely got to do a part 4 on this because so many scriptures is running through my mind that I didn't write down that I have to do a part 4 on this. This probably might be a 6-part series because you're going to find so much stuff in the scriptures about blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans being wicked back then, just how we are wicked today. You understand? You're going to find so much stuff about these Sadducees and these Pharisees and the spirit of our people want to marry unto these other nations. That is ridiculous. You understand? Salakia. Verse 49. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. We forgot the laws in that Christian church. You understand? We forgot that we supposed to celebrate Passover. But now we celebrate Easter. We forgot that Mother's Day is not our culture, but yet, if your mother was a whore and she used drugs all your life and she never took care of you, you still supposed to buy your mama a gift. You still supposed to basically throw all of that out the window and not tell your mother about the wrong doing that she has done because she your mama. So you supposed to just buy her a gift and say it. You understand? You're not supposed to hold your people accountable for their sin. You understand? You're supposed to just buy them gifts and praise them, even though they was a piece of shit when you was growing up. You understand? I'm gonna read that again, verse 49. To the end that they might forget the law and change the ordinance. Forget the law. You understand? We forget the law in the Christian church. You forget the laws of you're not supposed to eat these abominations that America calls a delicacy. You forget the law that you're supposed to come to your brother with an ought that you have with him, and you're supposed to hash out your differences and gain your brother back. We forget those laws. We forget the law that the Lord said we are a holy and separate people, and we are not supposed to marry heathens because these heathens are going to push their God on us, and we're going to end up worshiping their gods. You understand? We forget those laws. You understand? Like we forget the laws of marriage. We forget the law of if I got one wife, you understand, and I take another wife, I'm supposed to still keep that first wife. We forget that law. We forget the law that a woman cannot teach these scriptures. We forget the laws that you are not to be a homosexual or a whore if you are one of the children of Israel. We forget that law. You understand? And why we forget that law? Because your Christian pastor has taught you to follow the ways of the heathens. You understand? Your Christian pastor has taught you that you should be like your slave master. You understand? Everybody should be one people, and we should build a league and some type of camaraderie with the enemy. You understand? We should take on the culture and the customs of these other nations and forget our own culture and customs. You understand? I'm not supposed to wear I'm not supposed to wear a mitre or a headband. You understand? Or fringes on my clothes. I'm gonna wear alligator shoes, which is against the law, because we're not supposed to put on. We're not supposed to touch a dead carcass of an unclean animal. You understand? But your Christian pastor, he want alligator shoes, and he want to dress like your oppressor. You understand? He want to put on a suit. Wearing a goddamn suit is not Israelite culture. You understand? That come from Romans and Greeks. Them devils wore suits. That ain't what we wore. We wore long garments. You understand? Glorious warlike apparel. You understand? Headbands, mitres. You understand? War scarves. That's what we wore. You understand? Salakia. Verse 50. And whosoever would do not according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Look, the king wanted to kill us for not doing what the king wanted us to do. If you didn't want to eat pork or sacrifice pork on the altar, the king was going to kill you. If you didn't want to leave your laws, you understand? And if you don't want to leave your laws and you want to stay in the culture of your own people, the king was going to kill you for that. You understand? And that's what happened to us in slavery. Like when you look at the movie Roots, they beat that brother's back, telling him, man, your name Toby. He like, nah, man, my name Kunta Kinte. Giving him lashes, big whip. You Toby, nah, I'm Kunta Kinte. You understand? Like this is the integrity that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans should have on them. You understand? To keep your culture, even if it means you're going to be killed. You understand? But Salaki, I'm gonna drop that. Let's go to Maccabees. I'm gonna jump back to Maccabees. First Maccabees chapter 2. You understand? So we talking about Mattathias. You understand? And basically what Mattathias went through in his lifetime. You understand? Salakia. First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 6. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and in Jerusalem, he said, woe is me. Wherefore, as I Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hands of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers. Man, look, Mattathias, he like, man, I'm destroyed. You understand? Like I'm literally witnessing my people be destroyed by these goddamn heathens. You understand? Like the destruction is meaning being I'm destroyed. Like this is crazy that I gotta witness all of this atrocities that's being committed against my people. You understand? So like it. Verse 8. Her temple is become a man without glory. You understand? Like our temple, you understand? Our people, our holy city, you understand, is a man without glory. Mattathias is literally crying out for the children of Israel in his time. You understand? Verse 11, all her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a bondwoman. All the precious stuff that Jerusalem had is being taken away. And us being free, meaning us not being subjected to any other nation, nigga, we became a slave woman. You understand? The children of Israel have become spoiled. You understand? We have become the slave of these other nations. You understand? Verse 12, and behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. You understand? Our sanctuary, our home, Jerusalem, you understand? It's become waste. And let me read that again. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory. Man, look, our sanctuary, our beauty and our glory. The children of Israel, you understand? Our sanctuary, our beauty, our glory. You understand? Us keeping these law, statutes, commandments. You understand? Us being a holy and separate people. That's our beauty. That's our glory. You understand? It says, Salakia. Oh, Salakia, I jumped the gun. Salakia. Salakia, verse 9. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivities. Her infant are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. You understand? Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. You understand? What's the glorious vessels? You understand? All the ornaments and the stuff that we had in our temples. You understand? Like you see this gold lion right here and this gold tin man right here. Well, back then we had real solid gold ornaments in our temple. It's saying they being carried away into captivity. You understand? On top of that, this twofold. Like not only are these precious ornaments, you understand, that's in Jerusalem, but the children of Israel are the precious ornaments that's in Jerusalem. You understand? When you got a sister that's walking down the street in modest apparel and she a beautiful sister that only deals with her husband and she takes care of her children, she is a precious ornament. You understand? When you got a brother that won't let an enemy or outsider come to his nation and he's willing to die to protect his people, that's a precious ornament. You understand? Like the children of Israel, we are the precious ornaments of Jerusalem. You understand? It's the like Mattathias said, look, these precious ornaments, we've been taken into captivity. We've been taken into slavery. You understand? Salakia. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. Her infants are being slain in the streets. Our babies are being murdered in these abortion clinics. You understand? Our young men are being killed with the sword of our enemies. Look at what's going on with America. You understand? How many unarmed black men being murdered by these goddamn racist police officers? You understand? This is the same type of stuff that happened in ancient Greece when we was in captivity to these damn Greeks. And then it happened in the times of the Romans all the way up until today. You understand? So like it. Verse 10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? What nation has not had a part of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? And what nation has not? What nation hasn't had a part in our spoils? Who hasn't made money off of us? What nation hasn't had us in slavery? Our weight. Every nation. You know what I'm saying? The Arab is selling you cigarettes and alcohol and tobacco in your neighborhood. You understand? They selling you pork at the at your corner store. You understand? The East Indians own the gas stations in your neighborhood. You understand? The oppressor owns every other thing. You understand? The oppressor owns the grocery store. The oppressor owns the car companies that you have to buy your cars from. The oppressors own the banks that you put your money in or get a loan from. The check cashing places. You understand? Like, what else? These Asian people, they own the laundry mats in the ghetto where you got to go wash your clothes at. Not only do they own that, they own the beauty supplies also, and they own all the Chinese restaurants that's in your neighborhood, selling you cheap old Chinese food. You understand? At a cheap price because uh, uh, the black household that's being destroyed. You understand? You got brothers in prison or away from their children because they got to deal with a dragon of a baby mama. You understand? And they're away from the children, so the mother has to go outside and work all the time. Now, what the kids got to do to eat? You got to go buy food from your oppressor because your mama can't sit back in the house for you to. Your mama can't sit in the house and make you a good meal. You understand? Her damn self. So you got to go eat from the Chinese food restaurant right up the block. Come on, man. Or what if you got a single father? You understand? He probably got to go work most of the time, so he got to pick you up some fast food or some food at this Chinese food spot just to feed his damn children. You understand? Like this, everybody has had a part in our nation being spoiled, and everybody had a part of us going into captivity and them making money and benefiting off us. And why is this? Because these wicked men of Israel have said, we have had much sorrow since we departed from these heathens. Let's go build a league and join ourselves unto them so we can join in the festivities to them of these people. And in turn, what happened? We become the slaves to these other nations. You understand? We become robbed and spoiled of these other nations. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a part four, Lord willing. You understand? We become robbed and spoiled. You understand? We become prey for these other nations. You understand? Salakia. Verse 11. All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she is become a bond slave. Verse 12. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty, our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? Matter of fact, he asked himself a question like, man, like, why should we even live any longer? Our brothers and sisters, our brothers are being slaughtered in the streets. Our children are being aborted. You understand? They took everything from us. Every other nation on planet Earth has had something to do with us being spoiled or receive monetary gain off of us being in hell. Why should we live anymore? We've been taken into captivity. They profaned our sanctuary. Why should we live anymore? This is what Mattathias is saying, right? Verse 14. Then Mattathias and his son rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore. When they say when they say they rent their clothes, and then they rip their clothes and put on sackcloth, put on clothes of mourning and mourn very sore. Meaning they cried abundantly. You understand? They was in a low state of mind. You understand? And spirit just in anguish, broken down, beaten up. You understand? Verse 15. And in the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. So when the king's officers came into the city, like one of the men that worked for the king, King Antiochus, he came into the city, you understand, and he compelled the people to sacrifice. You understand? Salakia. It says, to make them sacrifice. Verse 16. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. You understand? So a lot of Israelites came unto these people. You understand? Came to this man that worked for the king. You understand? And not only did those Israelites come, Mattathias, him and his sons came down there to see what was going on. Right? Verse 18. Now there, Salakia. Verse 17. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias, on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore, come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done. Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold, many rewards. Right? So these officers that work for the king, he like, hey, what's going on, man? Like, bro, you a great honorable man, bro. You a ruler over your people. Like, you got a lot of respect around here, man. Look, why don't you and your sons like come get down with us? You understand? And we gonna put you up under the number of the king's friends. On top of that, since you gonna be one of the king's friends, we gonna give y'all a lot of possessions. We're gonna give y'all big houses, you understand? A lot of gold and silver, you understand? And a whole lot of things. Basically telling Mattathias and his sons, look, man, y'all can come sell out for riches just like everybody else did. You understand? Salakia. Verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice. Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments. Verse 20. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. Man, look, he said it with a loud voice, man. And he like flashed on him, like, look, check this out, bro. I know everybody doing what y'all say do, you understand? Everybody then consented to the king's religion and they living like y'all now, you understand? And forsake the religion and the laws of their fathers. But me and my sons and my household, bro, we gonna follow the laws of our fathers, bro. We ain't with all that, you understand? He spoke this with a loud voice in front of a crowd of people. Like nah, bro. Like we ain't compromising our integrity, bro, at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nah, I can't get down with that. I don't care about how many gifts y'all trying to give us, or you trying to bribe us and persuade us to be one of the king's friends. Like, nah, nigga, we keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, bro. All of that stuff you got going on, bro, we cool. We don't want none of that. You understand? Verse 22. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left. Be like, bro, we ain't listening to the king. You understand? We not giving up these law, statutes, and commandments that our forefathers passed down to us for us to keep as a people. You understand? Verse 23. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin according to the king's commandment. Now, picture and imagine this. You understand? Mattathias just had a conversation with these king officers. You understand? King Antiochus' officers, and they trying to persuade him and bribe him to be a man like them and come live under their laws. And Mattathias flashed on him like, nah, bro, we ain't doing none of that, bro. Like, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Like, our forefathers, the laws that they kept, that's what we gonna do. We ain't listening to the king, bro. We don't give a damn about what y'all got going on. You feel me? So he had a conversation with this dude in a public place. You understand? And here comes some Israelite nigga that just heard all of this and basically was like, nigga, whatever. Forget what y'all talking about, nigga. I'm about to consent to the king's religion. Like he had to brag and boast and make it be known that he was down with these so-called Edomites. He was down with these Greeks. This is the spirit of Christianity. I seen an episode of the Steve Harvey show. Somebody said something to him about slavery and all of that, He said, I don't give a damn about slavery. This is the same spirit that this nigga got on him that walked up and did this, right? Verse 23 again. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin according to the king's commandment. So this nigga said, man, them crazy ass niggas that look, basically how your Christian pastor would do us right now. Yeah. What's the famous Christian pastor? I forget his name. Something Jennings or something like that. You understand? Like he was so forward and bold and indulging in the evil sacrifice of a clean animal. You understand? He did this after Mattathias actually spoke up for our people and said he wasn't going to consent to the king's religion. And this brother being so forward and wanting to be like these goddamn heathens, man, he stepped up first to go sacrifice on this damn altar. You understand? Like, man, look, bro, you niggas tripping, bro. I'm about to sacrifice this pig. You understand? Same way, like this is a proud bastard. You understand? Just like your Christian pastor. I I, I sat back and told a lot of brothers like yeah, man. Uh, uh, this even before being in the truth, but being younger in the truth, telling brothers like yeah, man, pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, man, like that ain't our culture. That ain't how we supposed to live. Niggas would literally tell me like, man, well in slavery all we had was the pig to eat, so I'm gonna eat. Like what? Like that don't even make sense. You feel me? But this brother, he he was so forward and wanted to be like these damn heathens. He was willing to put it on display, you understand, in front of everybody, even after Mattathias said, look, we not doing it. You understand? Me and my sons in my household, we finna get busy with doing what the Lord told us to do. You understand? Sloppy. Verse 23. Which thing when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to the judgment, wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. So Mattathias seen all of this, and he got so mad and was so inflamed with zeal that he started shaking. And he ran up to the altar and killed that goddamn Christian spirit nigga. You understand? He killed this brother that had the spirit of Christianity on him back in those times. You understand? Because your spirit of Christianity is, I don't give a damn about my people. I'm gonna do exactly what I want to, and I want to be like my slave master. You understand? The water for y'all rocking with me. You understand? This is a pre-recorded. You understand? So I can't really get to the questions and all of that type of stuff. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You understand? We definitely appreciate the love y'all been showing us on this channel. You understand? Make sure y'all tune in to the Monday night history class tomorrow. You understand? On the IHBK Sacramento channel, as well as tuning in on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. for the Dropping Jewels podcast with myself and Officer Natazab. You understand? With that being said, Yahweh Shemi Awashab Rocket Thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Allah Thumb by Shemi Awashab to the sisters. It's definitely going to be a part 4 to this series of the spirit of Christianity on a Nothing New Under the Sun series. You understand? I'm gonna get into the book of Susanna next week. I said I was gonna do it this week. I'm gonna hold off for it on next week. There will be a part 4, Lord willing. You understand? With that being said, shalom, Israel.